Coming to medical and safety rules, now these are very, very important. As I keep saying, you would have heard me everywhere saying it, it's a dangerous event. We're trying to make it difficult, all right? That's a big enough task, all right? I want everyone safe. To me, getting everyone back is far more important than trying to get everyone to the finish line, all right? It's not like climbing a Mount Everest and then you're giving up your life for it or something like that. It's not like that, okay? So medical and safety rules are there for your safety only. Please take care of yourselves, all right? Listen to whatever we have to say and you'll be pretty good, okay? Now, safety is the top priority for the organizers and should be for the same for the runners and the crew teams. It's as simple as that, all right? So that's the first one. Second point, you should not spend very long time on top of any of the 3 high passes, Khardungla, Warila or Tanglangla. I would say maximum 30 minutes, okay? Even if you take a taxi, highly recommended not to is the word here, okay, or the term, be having Maggie and all that stuff on the high passes, okay? Anyways, Warila doesn't have an option, Tanglangla neither has an option for that, but at Khardungla there is a shop there, there's a cafe there. Strongly recommend, please don't have Maggies there, okay? Third point, weather at night is extreme, hence apart from taking special care of the participant, you need to take care of yourself as well. Okay, how will you take care of the participant if you as a crew member haven't taken care of yourself? Disorientation, hypothermia referring to the cold, disorientation, obviously you're going all over the place. These extreme conditions at high altitude are likely if precautionary measures are not taken. Simple thing, don't spend too much time there, okay? Make sure your cold weather and waterproof gear is with you at all times, whether you're doing the recce or whether you're doing the training or during your race itself, okay? So sometimes what happens is, when events like these happen, then textbooks start adding things from, the learnings from there. So effectively, running at this altitude, there was no reason to ever, medically think about, someone running at a 17 or 18,000 feet. But now, there is, and we know more now, more than the textbooks would say. So very simple things at high altitude, basically, which we've learned from, in the very first few years only, it all, it hit us really hard. So effectively, if you're at a higher altitude, say at a 17, 18,000 feet, or even lower than that actually, the very first thing to keep you alive, what is happening in the body is that oxygen in the blood is rushing to the brain. So what is the priority? To keep you alive when you're up there, okay? So where's the oxygenated blood going? Is to the brain, all right? Now this event is about movement. So basically running, movement, right? So when you move, what happens is, the muscles is where the oxygenated blood is rushing to, because you need that energy there, right? Then, if at say 16,000 feet or 18,000 feet or eating, now what happens is, the body is saying, hey, listen, hold on. What are you trying to do? Are you trying to stay alive? Are you trying to move? Or are you trying to eat? Because you're confusing me, all right? So if you're eating at say a Khardungla, for example, just maybe sitting, all right? Someone can feel drowsy because oxygenated blood that should have been up here is now compromised. It's being divided between here and here more. Okay, there's a lot of oxygenated blood that is needed in the intestines, all right, when the food is being digested. All right, so there's a division already. Now, if you start moving, what will happen is you could fall face down because there's not enough oxygenated blood going to the brain. Right? What you do in this race is whenever you want to eat something, of course, in the race you will have to. What you do is you stop, you wait, you take out that little piece of whatever the bar be or whatever it be, the gel, whatever. You have it, have that drink, stop for be waiting, for whatever, 15-20 seconds or even more, and start moving a little slower than you had actually come to that point. Now that's a very simple tip, but it works, right? So remember, don't confuse your body too much. A confused body is not a good idea, especially at that altitude. Things can go wrong, all right? Okay, now carrying on with the other points that I was talking about. Point 3, the weather at night is extreme, all right? Extreme as in temperature-wise, the altitude starts hitting you more. Because you're tired, the altitude hits you even more, all right? If you haven't slept the night before, if you haven't rested that day, you're in trouble. So it's a 6 p.m. start. It's a very tricky time to start a race, all right? The advice right now is start practicing going running at 6 p.m. and all that stuff and not sleeping for the night and going for a run in the next morning. Start practicing that bit. Okay. Okay, so the weather at night is extreme, hence apart from taking special care of the participant, you need to take care of yourself as well. All right. Disorientation and hypothermia, as I said earlier, disorientation means you're not oriented well, hypothermia means you're feeling very cold. At these extreme conditions at high altitude, it's very likely if precautionary measures are not taken. Right. Make sure your cold weather and waterproof gear as well is with you all the time. All right. Point 4, do not sleep in cars. All right, with rolled up windows, especially at high altitudes beyond 15,000 feet. Because it's cold, we all have a tendency to pull it up. The problem is you're breathing out carbon dioxide, you're breathing in oxygen, and if there's too much carbon dioxide in the car, you're breathing in carbon dioxide rather than actually oxygen, and that can be dangerous. Okay. The other part is just simply put once you're sleeping, your normal instinct how to tackle the high altitude goes for a toss, right? So the two things that are actually happening. Not a great idea sleeping at a high altitude, whether as a crew member or otherwise. All right, best is just keep yourself up, have your coffees, your teas, or whatever energy drinks. Once you're down a little bit, then it's okay to take a nap here and there. There have been cases in Leh where someone just slept at a high altitude, having gone there. While coming down, everyone thought they were sleeping, just that it was a permanent sleep. It is extremely important to ensure you sleep and get as much rest as possible when not on a shift. All right. Now that's important, but please not the danger zone of North Pulu to South Pulu. Do not sleep those 3-4 hours that you're going to be there. Okay. But otherwise, it's a good idea. Keep rested, because when you're at work, then you get on with it. Okay. Be aware that our body clocks are impacted by late shifts and overnight shifts. Adrenaline can override our senses of awareness about how fatigued we are, and our reaction times and decision making can be impacted. So just rest well. That's all we're saying. While you're at Nubra the day before, just rest. Don't be like, oh, can I go see this and that? Should have just done it before. Yeah. So not a great idea the day of the race or the day before doing all that. I want you rested. Be responsible and take care of yourself. We all tend to get carried away and push our bodies harder than what they are ready for. If you can't take care of yourself, you're putting everyone in harm's way. Okay. So as much as you might think that you're being very generous and nice to other people and all that stuff, no. I don't want all that. Please first take care of yourself. If you are healthy, you will take care of others very, very well. All right. So priority is each of you for yourselves. All right. And then the crew, the runners, obviously. Right.